Hello and welcome to O End of Town, and here's what's coming up today. Luton Town return to league action. It's a poor performance, but we end up taking a point.
Not when people say, oh yeah, but it was an empty crowd, it's first game back for 3 months. You know, I get that. That doesn't take away the fact that it was a real shit performance, does it?
We take a look at Carter-Vickers and how impressive he was at the weekend.
And because he's that little bit better than the other defenders we had, he really did stand out.
We also answer your Instagram questions and loads more. And today, we're joined by Dave on my right, Bataro's on my left.
Alright guys.
Afternoon boys, how are you both?
Very well.
Yeah, good. I knew about to say good evening then, but realistically it's actually evening, so yeah, good evening all. How are we? Good?
Yeah, it's afternoon though.
How are you feeling after Saturday's game? The 1-1 draw with Preston, it was just a bit meh, 3 months it felt like we waited and...
All the excitement for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we'll take it, won't we?
Well, you take the point, but I get the point. What Luke's saying is really, we've waited all this time in lockdown for football to restart, and it was uninspiring. That's my word, uninspiring. Disappointment.
I think most of football since it's come back's been a bit like that though, isn't it?
Yeah, but just relieved with the result in the end.
Yeah, relief, yeah, that's it.
Well, let's look at some 3-word reviews then. 3-word reviews are not going anywhere for the new season on the podcast. Barney says, I'll take that. Richard said, close the gap. Bobby said Pearson is shite. Julie, football is back. Bertie says keep the faith. Liam, McManaman's individual quality. Dwayne says thoroughly uninspiring performance. Liam says Cameron Carter-Vickers. Any of them take your eye?
Cameron Carter-Vickers straight away man of the match, wasn't he?
Easily man of the match.
The only player on the pitch that actually done anything, in my eyes.
And the other one, football is back. Yeah, it is. It's just a bit weird.
I guess it is nice though after 3 months of lockdown and a lot of people being affected by everything, that it is a bit of return to normality, football being back again. Yeah, it's not the same, and yeah, we'd all love to be at Kenilworth Road, but it was just a bit like Dwayne said, uninspiring.
Yeah, it's like I said, waiting all that time, 3 months, you're like, oh, this is awful. Because let's face it, we didn't even think we were going to get anything out of that the other day, did we, really?
No.
I think the further the game went on, I mean, you expected sort of, to come out and be a bit slow and whatever else. But then you just thought, when you go a goal down, just come on, man, pick up the tempo a little bit. You make your subs, and yeah, it got a little bit better after that. But
was it uninspiring because it was expecting too much? Maybe he was expecting new manager again, new form. Well,
this is what we heard on Twitter, wasn't it? Most of the time, people saying, "Oh yeah, Nathan Jones is back." You watched like the Big Bang kind of thing happen. Yeah. With the performance massively improved, but like you say, you can't really go on like 3.5 weeks of him coaching the team in a fucking COVID situation. Realistically, can you?
Would you have taken a point before the game, or did you look at this game and think this is a game at home to Preston? Yeah, they're in playoffs, but that's the game we need 3 points in.
I said to you before, we needed points from that. 3 points, not 1.3. But the only thing making it a little bit easier is the fact that we were absolute dire. We were shite. Honestly, we were. Terrible performance,
and at the end of the game, we are a point closer to safety than we were at the start of the game.
Yeah, that's one positive to take from it. That is the only saving grace, but also a point closer to the teams that I think will have more chance of staying up than the teams that won around us the other day, i.e. Charlton and whoever else.
Yeah, Charlton's win has pushed them right out of it for a minute, hasn't it? I think that the team that's dropping down like a stone is Hull.
Yeah.
So I think they're overtakeable, but the others, you wonder if they hit the form, then our fate's already decided.
You look at our fixtures, and we do have Hull. It's it's penultimate game of the season. It could be too little, too late, but it could be one of them games that, if we do manage to pick up a few wins between now and then, it could be a huge game, couldn't it?
Back on, yeah. Let's hope. Well, that's what we're hoping for. I mean, was it 5 points now? Was it 5 points from what? 8 games? Is it 8 games?
We're unbeaten in 4. I know it's been
Positives.
3 months, but
we're
unbeaten in 4.
When someone says, "Oh yeah, 4 games in 3 months," you're like, "What?" Hey? But nah.
Well, if we look at the Preston game in Hull, I'll hold my hands up. I missed the first half.
Didn't miss much,
you guys, you're going to talk me through it. Producer Jacob's talking us through it right here. Few chances in the first half. Obviously, Luton had 1 shot on target the whole game. What did you make of Preston and Sluga?
I think I underestimated Preston. I just thought they weren't good. They were going to be easy to beat, and they clearly weren't. They set up well.
They did set up well.
They did. They set up well, and if it weren't for Sluga, we would have gone in at half time. losing.
I'm trying to think. He made that one save, didn't he? Where he dives at the near post kind of thing.
But we didn't have nothing. We had nothing to offer.
No.
Did the shape of the team change? Don't think so. Were we? It didn't feel that we were going for it for me. It just didn't feel like that.
It felt like we was the away team. That's what it felt like. It was on the back. We were on the back foot.
Majority,
even the first half and the second half. And it was like we had like 10 men behind the ball at all times. And it's like, come on, what are we going to do?
I know it's impossible to say, forward. But having an empty Kenilworth Road, do you reckon that suited Preston more? You know, maybe they were better geared for an empty stadium.
I'm trying to think, did Preston playing an empty stadium most of the time? Or I can't actually remember.
That's harsh. I would say any home advantage goes when there's no crowd.
Yeah.
So they can come out, and I think I said on the day, the pressure is taken off that defender making that mistake because there's not 10,000 people shouting at him to make a mistake. Yeah. You know, and if they do make a mistake, they get over it quickly because there's not 10,000 people going to them. Yeah, you made that mistake. So it takes a little bit of pressure off the defence.
And at the same time as well, there's no one pushing the other team on as well.
Exactly.
Saying, come on, boys, get a goal. And it's. I think that told the other day. I mean, what was it? One shot on target the whole game. Obviously, it was the goal from McManaman. But I mean, when have we not had a shot on target until the 86th minute? I think it's probably been a fair while, has it not?
Well, I don't know. From this season, it feels like there's been a few games this season where it has been a bit of a struggle to get going. Yeah. But like you said, to wait 86 minutes for your first shot on target, maybe. Kenilworth Road's been quite quiet this season. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but there's been times where I don't know. Like, the fans have been really up for it before the game, and then we concede in like 10 minutes, and it's like, okay, same old, it's just silent.
Do you know something though? After a 3-month break, we'd have been full on it if we'd have been at that game, full on.
And I know Nathan Jones has had his critics over the last 3 weeks on social media, but I think, like Dave just said, 3 months of our game, you go back, Kenilworth Road's rocking, and
excuse me,
perhaps providing motivation to the team to maybe push on and have a better performance. And these are all factors. But the thing is, it's not just Luton experiencing these factors, so it is how you deal with them, I guess.
Well, look at Leeds as well. Teams like Leeds, 30,000 behind them every week.
I mean, we did set up, as I would say, possibly he used to set up with us anyway. We were trying to play out from the back. We were trying to play the ball through the pitch. But then the long ball came quite a lot. And it was hoofing up to Collins. And Collins in his central position on the wing, where was he?
The thing is, what I found quite a lot from the other day, which really, really, it got me, obviously, I was quite upset about it, is the fact that when we got the ball to the furthest possible person forward or whatever, there was no one ahead of him, so like Cornet, Collins, whoever, they try and play a free ball without looking. And there was no one there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they've been told, obviously, to expect like an overlap from somewhere or whatever else, but I just felt like no one was looking when they got the ball.
When I was driving home from work on Saturday, and they 5 Live were doing, they had reports at every game, and they went to Kenilworth Road, so I was like, okay, let's have a little update. And they were like, Luton are offering nothing. The only thing they're doing is long balls over the top to Cornick. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that sounds quite worrying. Yeah,
it was like that. It was exactly like that. It was piss poor. It was.
I suppose just taking the counter argument there just a little bit, is it because Preston set up really well and they were stifling our play and it was the only way we're going to get through?
Yeah, I'd say quite a lot of the time, yes, but I'd say there's always that 20% chance that we could pick a pass. We could play the ball backwards and whatever else, and no one was moving, Dave.
Yeah, the one time we were fluent in the second half, we scored.
We scored, yeah.
Yeah.
So I go with that. You say fluent, we got a bit fortunate, didn't we? When Sluga threw it out and he took a touch on their defender, and he touched it. It was a poor touch from his.
Yeah, but then from then on, there was 3 good passes before it went in.
Yeah. Well, apart from that, yeah.
Let's talk about Preston's goal. It was a good finish from Scott Sinclair. I think you've got to give him that. But do you look at the defensive side of it and think, could have maybe done a bit better?
Oh, massively, mate. Where was everyone down that right-hand side? Where was it Bree? Where was Pearson? No, hang on a minute. Bree weren't on at this point, was he? Was it Craney? Craney, sorry, yeah. Apologies. But no, I mean, I think it was them too, but I remember seeing Pearson just scrambling back, and I just thought, why are you so far up anyway? I don't want to start digging at Pearson, but he's starting to frustrate me a little bit now. I'm getting a bit annoyed with him. Because you see the same sort of stuff every week. And for me, I can understand how Bradley went on the pitch ahead of him. That was my big thing. But
do you look at that and think maybe, is that a fitness thing?
Maybe, yeah, it could be anything, like you say, but...
I know we'll get into Instagram questions later on because a few people have asked about centre-back partnerships. But like you said, Bradley started on the bench. Pearson maybe he does something that a lot of fans don't see. But I think when it comes to the style of play that both Jones clearly want to play, he's maybe not suited for it.
He worries me when he's got the ball at his feet. I mean, look at for the Sluga save. I think it was the first one where he obviously got down at an angle and it come off the play and went out for a goal kick in the end. You know that one?
Yeah.
I think that originally came off Pearson, didn't it? He didn't get his footwork. He couldn't get his feet sorted out, and he went for his legs. It hit his heel and then came off his leg and went through. And I just thought, things like that, you can't be getting beaten through your legs for a shot like that.
No, and the whole of the back four had problems, except for one. The back four weren't brilliant. Yeah. They weren't brilliant.
Do you think when teams play us, and producer Jack has made a good question here, do you think teams know how to exploit the Luton back four, or just the Luton team?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily the back four. I'd say it's more of a teamwork thing. Maybe your midfield don't drop deep enough at certain positions, but
any management team who's come into a game, and ours would be the same, they've analysed the game, they look for your weak spots, and at the moment our weak spot is our defence, isn't it? We've got a terrible goal difference, we've conceded loads of goals.
But I also think, like you said, it's a defensive problem, but I wouldn't say it's the back four problem. I'd say it's a midfield problem as well, because I don't see enough closing down in midfield either. Whether we get overrun quite a lot of the time. I mean, you were quite vocal about Pelly walking a bit. Dave, I'm always vocal about that sort of stuff.
But you were very vocal at the weekend.
He's a legend. You can't say anything about Pelly.
Yeah, but you were very vocal at that point. So the midfielder's job is to help the defence, isn't it? That's the thing.
Because I was sitting there at one point when Pelly went forward, and he'd done a couple of good bits going forward, and I said, that's what you want Pelly to do. Because when he's defending, I don't really see anything from him, if I'm honest. Like, obviously, I'm not saying he doesn't do anything. He shields and whatever else. He's a big physical presence. But sometimes it's all about, I think it's balance in midfield, and sometimes I think the balance is wrong with all the midfielders we've got. And we do need maybe a couple of changes in the summer there.
So where did we lose Preston's goal though? Did we lose it in the midfield or did we lose it in the defence?
I'm trying to think where it came from. Were they on the attack originally, or did we get the ball away?
I can't remember if they gave the ball away or not. I just know that there was sloppiness down the
and it was a massive gap
down our right hand side, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was a massive gap. So they attacked on their left, and I think it was like a slight little through ball to.
Yeah, as soon as he played the ball, you knew they were going to score.
He had all the bloody space to run into.
Yeah. As soon as they played the ball,
where is everyone, man? Just get fucking moving. Do you know what I mean? Nothing.
So when
Pearson was near the halfway line, even further forward.
So when I had this goal update go in on 5 Live, it was kind of like a bit of an anticlimax one, because they were commentating on the Brighton Arsenal game, and someone was down injured, or it was a goal or something, and they were like, there's been a goal in the Championship, we'll go there in a second. And I was like, better salute. And he was like, the goal has come at Kenilworth throw, by the way, we'll find out who scored in a minute. And I'm sitting there like, please. And he's like, yeah, goal for Preston. And then my instant thought was, same old. That's what it felt like.
Well, it was. But if you'd have been watching the game as we were, you'd have realised, there was no way we were going to score at that point. No. And the most likely team to score would have been them.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we all thought, we all said it. I'm pretty sure we all said it, or it might just be me going mad at one. But as soon as that goal went in, my initial thought was, we're not going to claw this back unless we see a major reaction.
True.
I think we all thought the same thing, didn't we, really?
Yeah, we did.
Because it was that poor. Like I said, okay, like when people say, oh yeah, but it was an empty crowd, it's first game back in 3 months. I get that, but that doesn't take away the fact that it was a real shit performance, does it? It was still a shit performance. That's how it was. Yeah, there are things in place that you can say, oh yeah, this happened because of that, because of this, because of that, whatever. That's fine.
Was it one of those games though that could have ended up 0-0?
Oh, 100% easily.
Because
easily.
Even though Preston had chances, there weren't that many of them.
No, well, realistically, what chance? I mean, on the highlight show they showed the free kick that Sluga saved. For me, that's a routine save that a keeper should be making.
Yeah.
He had made the save, the first one. I still think he should be saving that anyway.
Yeah.
I think they're all saves that the keeper should be making, apart from obviously their goal. And I know I've seen a few people sit there and go, maybe Sluga could have saved that. Maybe he could have. Maybe. But you know what? It's always ifs and buts and small percentages of things. If he got his footwork or he went to a certain angle. But look, it went in, and it was a good finish, because you can't take nothing away from that finish.
But it was in Luke's words, it was same old performance. It was same old Luton. And it wasn't the same old Luton that we'd like to see absolutely taking the game to everyone. It wasn't that at all. It was, oh, here we go, give away a goal. How are we going to get back from this?
Are you surprised it took Nathan Jones as long as it did to make some subs and change it up?
He should have made 2 subs at half time. I was screaming out for subs at half time.
Especially with the new rules.
They weren't at the races,
especially with the new rules. Yeah. You've got 5 to bring on. Why not make that change? I mean, he obviously thought we were doing all right.
Yeah, we really
clearly.
weren't, but yeah.
clearly, obviously thought that. I mean, you can't. He's our manager now, so you've got to go with it. But yeah, maybe he could have made a change earlier.
Yeah. And maybe he was using it for also a bit of fitness for some of the players coming in the later stages of the next.
The other thing is,
weeks,
we don't.
This is it.
Look,
match fitness.
But Tyro, we don't know how fit our players are. They've had what, one friendly? Other teams may have had more. Yeah. We don't know how fit those players are. They've been locked away as long as we have.
Do you think maybe Nathan Jones left it that late? I don't know, for maybe hoping the players that coming on having more of a fresh leg impact, maybe.
Yeah, maybe more legs in midfield or wherever, to be honest, than the wing. But no, I get it, I do. But at the same time, the players that started the game, well, to be honest, other than Carter-Vickers, they weren't good enough on the day. And you could see things in the first half when you thought it was a reoccurring thing, right? Especially like we said, Pearson. Don't want to keep bullying Pearson, because let's face it, I mean, he won the league with us last season, whatever else. So I'm not going to slag him off, but he weren't at the races, and I feel like he was giving the ball away quite a lot, and he was making errors. But he wasn't the only one, mate. He wasn't the only one. No. I'm just using him as an example, for instance. But no, you're right. He wasn't the only one. But I just found like he was one of the main ones for me that kept doing it, and it was just like, if you keep doing that, you're not making it easy for the people around you either. Because as soon as one person cocks up or they lose a bit of confidence, and obviously it does happen. They haven't played football for a long time, have they? It's been 3 months, like we said. But I don't know. I just think maybe a little bit sooner. But like you said, it could be anything that might have made Nathan Jones think, all right, I'll keep him on till 60th minute or whatnot. Like I said, it could be fitness, could be anything.
So overall, it was quite a poor game.
Yeah.
Were you? It's quite a tough one.
Terrible.
A terrible game.
Terrible game.
All right. We saw a comment on our Twitter feed the other day, and we asked for some thoughts on it. Someone saying like, we saw no change under Nathan Jones, and then it got mixed with a load of replies saying, yeah, how can you expect change after one game? What are your thoughts? Did you expect more of an impact, maybe having Jones in charge, or maybe a small bit of change? Like, did we see Collins maybe not so much out wide? Did we see Collins more central?
I don't think we saw any different with Collins. I don't think we saw any of that. No. I was hoping.
I think that he does it naturally, to be honest, as well. I really do.
I was hoping we'd get that little spur on from new manager comes back. And you know what? We've got rid of our old one. Mm-hmm. Let's show him that we can do this. But we didn't get that.
But the only thing is, like you say about obviously the new manager effect, but I believe that we didn't get that because of what's going on in the training. They've only started training, was it 2.5, 3 weeks ago, or whatever? Yeah. When he came in. Well, when he came in that morning, wasn't it, or whatever?
Yeah. And then a week of that is 5.
Most of it's fucking passing it from like 20 yards away and patterns of play just running around. But you don't get to do the proper thing. So you can't really take into consideration. You have to take into consideration the fact that we haven't trained properly at a full tempo for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect, like I said, all teams, not just us, all teams. But I don't, these people sitting there, oh yeah, fucking Nathan Jones. Okay, look, I'm not going to sit and go, I'm praising Nathan Jones, because obviously people saw the podcast last, they know our thoughts. But you can't sit there and say, oh yeah, it's not like a manager coming in and taking training every single day for a week until the next game. Do you know what I mean? You've probably got about half a week's training in about 3.5 weeks. Proper training, realistically. So you can't. I don't think you benefit from that.
But a lot of the squad know him.
Yeah.
So let's hope that the next performance is better. But it was just a despair, wasn't it? On Saturday, we were pulling what little hair out.
Yeah. And as soon as we scored, it was one of them ones like, fucking yes, we've done it. Like, we've grabbed the point.
We've nicked the point.
Yeah.
When we scored, it was relief, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah,
we've nicked this. We did not deserve anything from the game. We nicked it.
Yeah, and we're all doom and gloom. Great. And like I said earlier, we're a point better off than we were before the game.
Yeah, but it's just not enhanced for the fact that Barnsley won. No. It's not enhanced because Charlton won. Yeah. Had they both not got a point, it would have been much better.
Yeah.
And because we know what fixtures are coming next, I don't see us getting any.
It's Friday. Here's some fans' reaction then of the Luton game with Preston. Max says, for a first game back against a team in the playoffs, fighting back from one down, yeah, we'll take it. Don't count us out yet. Jamie says, can't sniff at a point there. Poor game for both sides, but to be expected given the break. Tim says, for me, today highlighted what a level an empty stadium is. Everything to play for in our next 2 away at large empty stadiums.
With the empty stadium thing, I agree, but I think we'll see it more in the next sort of like 3 to 4 games. Then you'll start to see it when the fitness levels get more back to more
the time to be playing the top teams is now rather than 4 games.
Well, you think we go to Ellen Road with fans, that's what, 37,000 sellout or whatever. because they're on an up.
It's a weekend away as well. We're not having.
Would have been a good weekend away, but it could benefit us. And Ian says if we hope to stay up, we'll have to play better than that. No coherence, no plan, no idea. Only one shot on target. Okay, it resulted in a goal, but we're going to struggle to get anything from Swansea or Leeds. I want to be surprised and I want to be proved wrong.
Can I just say, we haven't mentioned how good that goal strike was.
Well, McManaman's
it was a brilliant strike.
We haven't really even touched the goal. It was a great goal from McManaman.
Fantastic goal, man. But that's what he's capable of. We know this.
Yeah,
would you like to see him start more, McManaman?
I'd love it, but I don't think he's fit enough to do more games. I really, because by what you're hearing from obviously Graham Jones when he was there, he's saying that he's not the fittest player. You have to manage him quite carefully. And I think everyone said that where he's been for the past sort of 5 years. They've always said the same thing about his fitness levels, or not so much his fit, but his body.
Yeah,
but a sweet strike into the goal.
Fantastic.
It got us jumping, didn't it? Got us jumping.
Well, jumping, screaming, fucking going nuts, all sorts. And then we realised, shit, come on, if we can get. Do you know what? It's after that. It was fucking Tunnicliffe, just grazed the bar or whatever, didn't it? Near enough.
So then we're talking different on this podcast, aren't we? I like Tim's comment as well. We've already touched on this, the level of what an empty stadium can be. So let's hope that Leeds haven't or don't react well to playing in front of an empty Ellen Road.
Let's hope.
It's going to be an interesting week ahead, definitely.
And they lost yesterday, haven't
they? They did.
Let's
look at today's player focus. Cameron Carter-Vickers, we picked him out because we felt like he was man of the match for us. Dave, I'll start with you. How important do you reckon Carter-Vickers is going to be for the rest of the season?
I think he's going to be a real player for us. I think he's one that's strong, and he proved that on Saturday. His defensive abilities were second to none on the game. Fantastic, so he's going to be a big ask for him to be a star, but I think he can be.
It's just a shame that after this we won't be able to keep him. I believe, unless we stay up, maybe, but I can't see it.
That's the question producer Jacobs put in the running order today is can we get him again next season? Can we somehow have him back here at Kenilworth Road?
Not if we're in a division below where we are now, no.
And the thing is, I was reading something on Sky or whatever a few months back as well, saying if we wanted to sign him, we'd have to pay £4 million to Tottenham. And let's face it, I mean, £4 million for a player of his quality, you would take it in the Championship, because for me he's I'd say a mid sort of level to top half sort of Championship defender. I mean, did he not get Swan of the Year a couple of years ago or whatever?
Swansea,
I mean, they finished in the top half or whatever, I believe. But someone of that quality, we're not going to pay £4 million for, I know. Because we haven't got the money for it, we haven't got the finance.
Even if we had that, do you reckon we would? We would probably spend that $4 million elsewhere, wouldn't we?
Really? I don't know. I think if we had the money,
it's a difficult one, isn't it? I think if we had it, and they could see that we were going to push forward to the new stadium, we're going to push forward to the new league, and we want to get to the Premier League. Yeah, they take him. They take him. Do you know what? Had him for a season, doesn't work out, you sell him.
You still make back as well.
But we don't have $4 million, so that's not going to happen, is it? I thought he was spot on Saturday.
He seems good with the ball at his feet, doesn't he?
He's calm. He's intelligent. That's the thing. He's intelligent. He's a big boy as well.
And he's he's that little bit better than the other defenders we had. He really did stand out.
Because he's got he's got a composure. He can pass the ball, like I said. He's strong. He's fairly quick. He's quick. See what I'm saying? For a centre half, he is quick. Yeah.
And it's nice to see him.
He's solid. He's solid all round.
Solid is another word.
Yeah, solid all round. Solid.
Yeah.
So some stats producer Jacobs found from at EFL Scout on Twitter: 58 touches in the game, 73% pass accuracy, 6 aerials won, 13 clearances, 1 interception, 3 tackles. It's like you said, he's kind of got a bit of everything you want a centre half to have, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just surprised there only 3 tackles, because he just felt like he was in control. I thought he was in control of his game.
Maybe they didn't class the amount of times he got in front of the defender.
Yeah,
mate, because that's what
he was totally in control of it, wasn't he?
Because that's what I mean. That's what I mean. 3 tackles. That is pretty strange. But like you said, like I said, it could be the simple fact of he was just too quick to get there ahead of the forward.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't really count that, would you? It was just like an interception or did you say interception? What? No, hang on a minute. 1 interception? Nah, that can't be right.
Blame EFL Scout producer Jacob.
Jacob, what's going on, mate?
If we look at the defenders we currently have at the club, then you probably look at Carter-Vickers for the remaining 8 games now, and you say he's got to be the one starting, right?
Has to, yeah. For me, he has to start ahead of Pearson.
So what, you put Bradley and Carter-Vickers together?
For me, yeah. Or Craney maybe at centre half, obviously. But then maybe you can also play a 3 at the back as well and play 2 wing backs as well. There's many options you could go with here.
We can't second guess.
But I want Bradley in there.
You can't second guess Nathan Jones.
No.
But you'd think judged on performances.
Well, you never know. Nathan Jones might put the fucking goalkeeper up front.
Judged on performance of the last game, but just on the performance of the last game, Carter-Vickers starts for 100%, and I would switch Bradley and Pearson.
Yeah. I
don't think you can really argue with that.
No.
But it seems like Pearson's played a lot of minutes this season. That there must be something that the managers love about him that maybe we don't see.
He's old school, isn't he? He's a bit of a lump at the back. He's probably the most physical player I'd say we've got at the back at the moment. Maybe apart from Carter-Vickers, but
could he be in there for his physicality, Matty Pearson? Because he's not in there for his passing ability. We'll say that for a fact.
He's got to be in there just for his. I say. But the thing is, when there was a stat not long ago as well, saying about the amount of headers that he actually didn't win as well. We all sitting there going, "Oh yeah, he won quite a lot of headers." I'm sure I see a stat saying he won like 40% or something, or 60%. And it was pretty poor. If that's the case, then you know what you got to do, Nathan. You know what you got to do.
Let's look at some comments about Cameron Carter-Vickers. Bill says he had a very well-rounded game, looked very comfortable on the ball, great positioning, was hard to beat. I was also quite impressed with Tunny, which he hasn't said too much this season. What do you make of Tunnicliffe?
I didn't really see much of him, to be honest. If I'm honest, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't really looking for him, but I didn't really see anything of him. I don't think he'd done anything, bad. I don't think he'd done anything
do you know, sometimes when you're watching a game, you sort of lose who's done really well and who's not done really well sometimes. And I can't remember his name being said quite at all by the commentator at the time.
I can't even recognise him. He's got a skinhead now, hasn't he, as well?
Do
not even talk to me about the two haircuts.
His missus definitely done that, hasn't he? Yeah, she. Sorry.
Yeah. Are we one to talk about haircuts at the moment with us?
No.
Losing yours is too long, mine needs cutting.
I ain't washed mine for about 5 days either, it's disgusting.
If you're listening on SoundCloud, you can go watch us on YouTube, by the way, to see the state of Luke Vitaro's hair. It's
but
unreal.
If you have to talk about haircuts, you only got to mention one team member from Saturday, and that's Cornick.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
He needs a hairdresser, come on.
That's brave, mate.
He needs it cut. John says, Carter-Vickers great. Positive impact from subs. Macca is like the dodgy bulb in my garage. Spends most of the time not working or annoying with its flickering, but that's all forgotten on the odd occasion. It lights up the room. I like that.
John, go and buy a new bulb.
But
it's true though, because sometimes
maybe he's told not to work too hard though, because of his, like you said, about his physical condition or whatever. Maybe that's the thing. They say, "Oh, you stay the furthest forward." That might be the part of the tactic.
Yeah, we don't know, but he did absolutely finish it on a blinding moment, didn't he?
So realistically, you look at Carter-Vickers then, and McManaman as maybe even though McManaman was only 15 minutes on the pitch, as the two standouts really, I guess.
McManaman because he scored. If he hadn't scored, I don't know, was he a standout? Well, that's the question.
We're going to create a chance though. So that's the thing with him. He can be a match winner.
Well, he's been match winners from the end of the games quite a lot, hasn't he?
That's what I was going to say. 4 of his goals have come in, the 87th minute Luton tweeted out the other day.
I'm going to guess that he's probably saved us about at least 7 or 8 points.
I think Luton said 5 points. He's won us from his goals.
Terrible guess, though.
Come on, that's not too bad, is it?
That's a big player, though, isn't it? That's a big player to have.
That's what you need, impact player. And if he's happy to sit on the bench, come off the bench for like 10-15 minutes at a time and scrape us points to keep us up, then Macca, fucking keep going, mate. Keep going. We'll take that every day of the week. I don't care. Do you know what, right? I honestly couldn't care if we play shit for the rest of the season as long as we stay up. I don't think everyone probably the same, but
yeah, we scrape a 1-0 win every week.
Have one shot on target and win 1-0. We don't care.
But I think if you're going to be realistic, the chances of us staying up are slim.
Yeah, very slim. But I'd like to know what the odds of us are to stay up.
But if we get a really positive result on the weekend, then they become better.
Weirder things have happened. If we go Swansea and win, the Twitter's going to be loopy. It's going to be incredible, isn't it? It's going to be great.
Look,
let's get to some Instagram questions today for the final 10 minutes. Some really good ones coming in today. So Richard said, is Izzy Brown the most frustrating Luton player since Dean Morgan?
Oh, no. I don't know. Where's that come from? How's that?
But because Izzy Brown has got it in him to play really, and he can really well.
Yeah, usually plays well.
Can really do it, and then sometimes it feels like he's not at the races. There were a couple of moments on the weekend where I thought he was pretty decent, and then the rest of the game.
Yeah, absent. No, I get it. But
I think that's could it be frustrating that like we do know his ability.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you look at his stats from this season. I know people obviously don't always go on stats and whatever, but you look at what he's done this season for the club, going forward. I think it speaks volumes for itself, does it not? Assist rate, I think it's pretty up there in the probably top sort of 7 or 8.
If you're answering Richard's question, since D Morgan, you knew D Morgan had him to score goals, but some weeks he did not turn up at all.
Yeah, I get that. But then
there's always players like
isn't that down to the way you're set up as a team against certain opposition? You know, like they say, obviously boxing styles make fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but and again, maybe the teams that are playing against us identify him as a real good player.
Yeah.
So we're going to put 2 people. We're going to watch that Izzy Brown. And then that's where he doesn't look at his best, and he's still only young.
I still think it's difficult though to rely on one person. Like you say, he's a very young player as well. You can't rely on one player every single week. Maybe he needs the support around him, which he don't get. For me, that's why I believe sometimes he doesn't perform, because he hasn't got the quality around him. I genuinely believe that. Obviously, people might disagree with that. That's fine. But for me, I just think when you're in a team that's struggling and you're a real quality player, and the thing is, to get the stats he has this season in a struggling team, because we are struggling, let's face it, we're not going to fool nobody, we're struggling. I mean, to get those stats and whatever else, I think he's done he's done top bits this season, in all fairness to him. But well.
You can definitely think of another more frustrating player since D Morgan, can't you, than Izzy Brown? There's got to be loads out there.
Yeah, I can think
Danny
of so
Spiller,
many.
for a start.
He didn't even
play.
Yeah, what a tosser.
Yeah, that's not frustrating.
Jason Walker, frustrating player.
Jason Walker.
That's just off the top of my head. If I had time to research.
That guy was just a cock, man.
Say what you mean, Patara. Say what you mean.
What is it? R.I.P. Luton. Where are you now, mate? Where are you now? Oh, yeah, fucking nowhere.
Luton.town 1885 on Instagram asks us, do you think Tunnicliffe is better than what everyone says he is?
No.
In one word, fair play. I don't know.
This is what
I've seen him play before this.
This could be taken 2 ways, right? Everyone says he is. Yeah. Some people might think he's really good.
Yeah. The thing is, I've seen him play at other clubs. I think he was at Fulham at one point, was he? It was him or was his brother?
It was him.
Yeah. Millwall.
Mm-hmm.
They loved him at Millwall.
I thought he was a brilliant player.
They loved him at Millwall.
Like live on TV and whatever. I thought he was a good player. Decent, all-rounded kind of thing. Nothing special. Man United as well, played for their reserve team, didn't he? And obviously I saw little highlights like back then. He looked like a different player.
It's consistency, isn't it? That's what we're looking for.
I think he doesn't have any confidence as well. I think confidence is a massive thing for him, because he doesn't look like a player that, sometimes he looks like a player that wants to work, and other times he just looks like, a bit like, what do I do? I'm just running around needlessly here.
Could it be one of them situations again though, where Tunnicliffe does the stuff that we as fans don't
appreciate
or understand or realise? It could be that Tunnicliffe gets closer to a man quicker than someone like Butterfield would, or Shinnie would, or Ray would, which is why managers look at Tunny and go, you know what, he needs to start because of this he does.
Off the ball.
Yeah, which us fans look at and just go, doesn't do much.
Like I said, the best player for me in recent times, off the ball and doing all the donkey work, didn't get enough credit for me, was Jonathan Smith in the conference season. Well, conference seasons, should I say.
He defined passion, didn't he?
Yeah. Mate, he was, do you know what? Yeah. He might not have been the best player technically, but I tell you what he didn't make up for in technical ability, he made up for it with heart, fucking bravery, everything.
Yeah.
And the guy was, do you know what? I still say he was one of the reasons why we got promoted.
Should we get him on the podcast?
I'd love to, mate.
I saw he did a podcast with someone else the other day. I think we could get him on.
Nah, get him on, mate. Do you know what, Smithy, you're listening, mate, or you see it.
come join us in our lovely setup right
Obviously, social distancing, but come and sit down.
Callum says, would you like to see youth given a chance if we get relegated before the end of the season?
Depends who we've got.
That's what I was going to say. You look at like youth players at the moment. Maybe in the past you could say we've got 5 or 6 youth players that we could just slot in. Realistically, we've got Jake Peck.
Yeah,
I like Jake Peck. I like Pecky, but I also know Nathan likes him too. So I like him, and I think he could be a decent midfielder option.
You always like to see youth coming through, don't you? Really, you always want to see that sort of thing.
Well, we need to. We're going to need to, because if we get relegated,
we can't take chances.
It's money, isn't it?
We can't take chances though. Realistically,
maybe not so much in the youth, but like say we're relegated. Would you like to see Kioso play right back? Would you like to see Frankie Masunda get some game time?
No, Kioso, I'd love to see him play. I've seen him play. He's brilliant player. But like I said, is he at that level? I don't know. I'm not a scout.
But if we're down, does it matter? Does it matter?
Just a point of order though. I think the likes of Pecky and some other people are on senior contracts, so not on youth contracts. So they must think they've got it in them to get on in the team, and at some point they'll get a go.
Good luck to them, yeah,
they'll get a go.
To them. That's what you want to see. You want to see your homegrown talent come through. Look at JJ and whatever else. And
let's be honest. You know, when they brought JJ in the team, he wasn't brilliant straight away, was he?
Oh, I don't know.
Not straight away.
Oh, I don't know.
No, not straight away.
I looked at him straight away, Dave, and I went, he's
You can see he was good.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the player he was when he left.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
there comes a point at which you have to try these guys out.
But you know, like, was his first game against Villa?
Yeah.
Man of the match.
I think it's...
Oh, yeah, he did that one.
I was going to say he got man of the match, Dave, saying about it. Against Villa as well.
When they slot in and they look unnatural, like it looks like they could just fit in.
Yeah, this is it. And I'm sure there are players that are in the youth academy or just been signed to pro contracts or whatever else that maybe potentially are better than some of our fringe players.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I know there was one player, was it Arthur Reed, that went to Brentford or whatever. I thought he was going to be a special talent for us, but obviously he's gone, so...
But I'd rather our youth go with us rather than got snapped up by the Premier League or by a team in our division. I'd rather give him a go.
Corey Woodrow a few years back.
Yeah, why not give him a go?
I mean, he couldn't even get a game for us in the conference, but he went to Fulham, and then a year later he's playing in the Premier League or whatever.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? So why we need to give somebody a chance.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the worst happens, we're relegated in the next 4 or 5 games.
And it's a strong possibility, we all know this, so
then
look.
Why not? Let's play Kiosa, let's play Peck, let's play Masunda. Just
it won't hurt giving us some game time in pre-season either, will it?
No, exactly.
Just test them out, even if you get like a friend against maybe a conference or a League 2 outfit or whatever, and just say, look, go on, test yourself against these boys. It's going to be physical, crack on. And if they do it, and the thing is, I know for a fact Kiosa can do it physical, mate. The guy's a fucking machine, man, trust me.
It's going to be a good player.
The boy can tackle as well. He's a proper right back who can smash people and run.
It's what you need. Literally, that's what you want as a right back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Flixie, talking of right back, Flixie on Instagram says, do you start Bree instead of Craney? Or the other way around? Which one? Who do you start right back, Craney or Bree?
The only thing is Bree's he's slightly quicker, isn't he? Slightly quicker.
I'd be interested to see if Bree can maybe change under Nathan Jones, and I know a lot of goals this season have come from his side with crosses.
I do trust Craney more though. So I put Craney there. Depends on how you want to play. Like you said, Nathan Jones last season was wing backs, wasn't he? Well, for the last 2 years when we had him, he was wing backs, fucking with this, creativity and that around it. So the way he plays, you'd probably say Bree would start, but at the same time, in the Championship when you're fighting, you need someone solid. So Craney for me. What about you two?
Well, he played Bolton in that friendly as well against Brentford. You never know. Bolton could be slotting in that position.
But this is what
I say. Hard, though, isn't it?
3 centre halves. You could put 3. That's what I'm saying. Because 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs.
Everybody sits around the table and everybody sits at the stadium and everybody likes their own players, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
And the manager's going to pick his favourite. He shouldn't. He should pick the one that's performing the best. So I think he'll probably pick Bree.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting run into the season, isn't it? It's got. It's got so much potential to be good.
It's got so much potential. It's to be fucking like a lead balloon, mate.
I don't suppose you missed the big result of the week, though.
Go on.
And that was the guy Mark on Come Dine With Me for Luton Town.
Oh, yeah, he won, didn't he?
Oh, I heard about that.
He won.
I didn't see that.
A spoiler alert. Yeah, he did.
Well, man was telling me about that the other day. He was well excited about it when he told me. I was like, all right, what's his name? He's like, I don't know.
I think it was Mark, but it's fun.
Well, thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. This is the first time we've been able actually to get together again.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
In our
feels a bit more normality, doesn't it?
Our outside studio, which won't last because it's going to get cold in the winter time and we'll have to move indoors again.
Myth, mate. Just get a nice jacket.
We're excited because we're now sponsored by DLA Driving School as well, which is going to be a great opportunity to get our podcast bigger and better, and we're excited for that. So thank you to them. Go check them out on social media at DLA_driving.
And also say that I had some lessons with them and I passed straight away.
Wow.
There you go.
They must be good. They got you passing straight away. They must be good.
Literally the next test after I passed, and that is not a lie either.
Amazing.
That is not a lie.
Enjoy the rest of your week before the big Swansea game of the weekend, 12:30 kick-off.
That doesn't mean I didn't pass first time, mate.
Keep an eye on our socials at OwenTheTown and get us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, rate us 5 stars, all that good stuff. I'll see you next week.
Cheers for listening.
Bye.